Thanks, Sal.
Well, guys, welcome back
Oh, yeah.
to the K&N Spring Fling presented
So
by
again,
Optima Batteries.
Twin
And I
drivers
tell you
will
what,
be on the
I've been saying it
service
for
road lined
years,
up, ready
but
to
I
go.
have
We've got our
almost
first
said it
taker already.
3
The Mississippi
times
lined up behind
this week.
We need 19 more.
The K&N Spring Fling presented by Sparco.
Okay.
So I'm glad I haven't said that.
That's where we're at. And again, if we're a new entry.
Guys, welcome back for day last day, or the end of the event.
Challenge racers on the
So, however you want to put it.
And then
huge shout out to Jags and Mickey Thompson for sponsoring the live feed, because without them we would not be here. So that's cool.
But after we get things underway, we'll call our door cars into the lanes 1 and 2. We'll get our door
yes,
cars.
Mark, Mark and Joanne got their rig all fixed up yesterday,
so again,
and they're actually already back in Wartown. They made it back in last night, and I think that they're actually fixing. They're going to leave Monday morning for
we are just about 3 minutes away.
So, guys, sit back, relax. We're going to do the reaction time challenge here. I think they're racing for a jacket, for a Sparco jacket, and maybe some money. I'm not real certain. Excuse me. But and then we're going to get into, and then they're going to do some stuff on the starting line with the group picture that they always do every year, good morning from California. Chuck, what is it like? 4 a.m. over there? What are you doing awake? My brother-in-law lives in California. It's like 4 a.m. over there, at least. Anyways, guys, thank you all so much for coming out. I really appreciate all the support. I'm going to get out of here, and we are going to crown a Jegs 20,000. Today's Jegs 20K, and we're really excited about this weekend. It is last day, the end of the event, however you want to put it, and we are excited. 5:55. Yeah, I thought so. I thought it was early. Yes. So, guys, sit back, relax, enjoy the show, and I'm gonna get out of here before I say something wrong. Bye.
Right. Once again, reaction time challenge racers. This is going to serve as your final call. Final call, reaction time challenge racers. We do need on the service road in front of the main grandstands, please. Again, that'll be Jeremy York, Matt Shapiro, Robert Vogler III, Bug McCarty, Val DiGenova, Mike Laws, Vince Schroeder, Jeremy Bargo, Matt Brem, Caitlin Cheney, Jamie Tupper, Everett Justice, Antoine Jett, Tim Thomas, Dave Deeds, Jerry Brewer, Eric Amon, Gabe Taylor, Richard Alper Jr., and Pete Dagnolo. We need you in front of the main grandstands, please. Reaction time challenge. Entries you in through tech. Entries you in lanes 1 and 2, please. All right, once again, we are still a little light as far as the car count is concerned for our reaction time challenge. Still a few cars out there that are missing. I do see several of the folks that have already lined up, but again, just to run down that list of 20 that we need down here on the service road in front of the main grandstands. Jeremy York, Matt Shapiro, Robert Vogler, Bug McCarty, Val DeGenova, Mike Laws, Vince Schroeder, Jeremy Bargo, Matt Bram, Caitlin Cheney, Jamie Tupper, Everett Justice, Antoine Jett, Tim Thomas, Dave Deeds, Jerry Brewer, Eric Amon, Gabe Taylor, Richard Alford Jr., and Pete Dagnolo. I do see several of those folks already down here, but again, there are 20 of you that were selected for this Reaction Time Challenge. Again, we are going to swing you around into the water box, give you one shot at the tree. If you are double O, we're going to hand you $100 in cash. If you are triple O, you're going to get $1,000 and get an opportunity to come back and do it again. If you can put 2 triple O's in a row, you could walk away with here from, or walk away from here with $10,000. New entries, you should be in lanes 1 and 2. New entries, you should have already gone through tech, and the random draw has been completed. Mia Tedesco, your name was drawn as the provisional buy in round number 1, should one be necessary. So Mia Tedesco, if one is necessary, you were drawn as the provisional buy in round number 1. Again, racers, so here's kind of the schedule. We are going to start off with our Reaction Time Challenge. Once we get through the Reaction Time Challenge, we are going to do our new entries. We'll have our new entries that take it off down there. 1940 would be the car number. 1940 Mia Tedesco, just kind of a heads up there. But again, we'll do our Reaction Time Challenge, then new entries.
All right, Robert Vogler III. Robert Vogler III, we need you up here immediately, please. Robert Vogler III, we need you immediately. Brent Schroeder, need you up here. Brent Schroeder, need you up here immediately, please. Vince Schroeder. Vince Schroeder, need you up here immediately, please. And Robert Vogler III, we need you now, please. Mike Laws. Mike Laws, need you now, please. Antoine Jett. Antoine Jett, need you now, please. Tim Thomas. Tim Thomas, we need you now, please, guys. We just called your name. Richard Alford Jr. Richard Alford, need you up here. If we just called your name, folks, we're about to run the Spring Fling Reaction Time Challenge, and we need you here now, please. Once again, if we called your name, we need you up here. We got the Spring Fling Reaction Time Challenge. Everyone else that we didn't call your name is already here. Thank you, racers. Everyone else that we called, we need you up here now, please. We're ready to go. If you are 00 right here, you get $100 in cash. If you're 000, you get $1,000 in cash. And if you are 000, you get an opportunity to come back around and do it again for $10,000. Really cool thing. For those of you in the pits that are not aware of what's going on, there will be no incrementals given. This is reaction time only. All of the incrementals are shut down. They will not get a time slip that gives them basically a time. This is reaction time only. So no worries there. The racers won't get any valuable information that'll help them when competition begins. This is for reaction time only. All right, once again, Mike Laws, Antoine Jett, and Richard Alford. Mike Laws, Antoine Jett, and Richard Alford. We need you now, please. Guys, we're about to run without you. Hate for you to miss an opportunity at this cash by having a great reaction time. We must move forward. Mike Laws, Antoine Jett, and Richard Alford. We're about to roll without you. We need you now, please. All right, if you are in the Spring Fling Reaction Time Challenge, guys, come down to the winner's circle area under the and Optima Batteries banners, Spring Fling banners. If you are Reaction Time Challenge, get a picture of everyone that's in the K&N Spring Fling Reaction Time Challenge. So racers, if you will come over here in the winner's circle area, we'll get a picture of everyone real quick and we'll move forward. New entries, need you in the staging lanes now, please. New entries in the staging lanes now. New entries, you need to be in the staging lanes right now. As soon as the Spring Fling Reaction Time Challenge is completed, we will have our new entry time trial. If you are a new entry and you have not been so far this week, you are competing in today's program. We need you in the staging lanes now, please. Congratulations, big congratulations goes out to our Strange Friday out. Turtle, great job by you. Also, congratulations goes out to Tommy Cable, our $50,000 runner-up bad door car. Wait, Tommy Cable came up this morning and is donating $500 of his winnings to the Howie Smith fund to help Howie get his racing operation back up and going. Thank you so much, Tommy. We appreciate everybody that's given to the Howie Smith Fund. Platinum Products offered up $1,500 in Platinum Products accessories to help Howie get his new trailer set up when that happens. So a lot of money was collected last night in the 50-50. Big Ben Domino was the winner there. And now Tommy Cable giving up $5 of his winnings going to go to Howie Smith. So thank you all so much on behalf of Howie Smith and his family. Much, much appreciated. And hopefully we get to see Howie get his racing operation rebuilt and back out to the track sometime soon. All right, final calls and Richard Alford. Folks, if you're here with them, know them, have their number, let them know we're about to get started without them. And if it gets completed and they're not here, unfortunately, they will not have an opportunity to compete in the Spring Fling Reaction Time. So if you're close to Richard and Mike Laws, Richard Alford and Mike Laws, please let them know we're about to get this started and completed without them. All right, here we go. Spring Fling Reaction Time Challenge. 20 racers were randomly chosen. They are going to get the opportunity to come and take one hit at the tree. If they're 00 anything, to the green side, of course, they'll get $100 cash from Peter and Kyle. If they're 000, they will get $1,000 in cash from Peter and Kyle. If a racer happens to be 000, they will get an opportunity to come back around and make one more hit for $10,000 if they're 000. Our first pair up will be Matt Brim in the dragster left lane. He will be going against Jamie Tupper in his little Vega right side. Brim from Johnstown, Pennsylvania. Tupper from Tillsonburg, Ontario, Canada. Again, this will be reaction time only. Racers won't get incrementals that'll help them get prepared for today's eliminations. They will get a reaction time only. Probably not looking for a staging battle here in the reaction time challenge. Taking their time, making sure they're in just right, taking a shot at that triple O. All right, there's Brim. That Brim already collecting $100 right off the bat. 005 for Brim. Tupper leaves 029 on the red side. So Matt Brim already getting him $100. Only way you get an opportunity to come back around is being triple O. Double O, you get $100. You go get set up for eliminations. If you're triple O, that's how you get to $1,000, and you get another opportunity to come back for $10,000. Left lane this time will be Bug McCarty out of Hazelhurst, Georgia. Right lane is Caitlin Cheney from Douglas, Georgia. Both of these racers from the south end of Georgia. Looking for triple O. Bug McCarty getting $100. 009 for McCarty. His pocket. I'm feeling pretty good about this so far. 2 pair went down and half of them has been double O. Was a late with a 43. Next up will be Eric Aman out of Clinton, North Carolina. Door car over there. Right side is Dave Deeds in the dragster from Womelsdorf, Pennsylvania. $24 and a $25 there, no good. Up in the left lane, the T-body of Pete Diagnolo out of Rochester, New York. In the right lane is Jeremy York out of Muncie, Indiana. In the staging lanes. I'm sorry, new entries. New entry time trial to the staging lanes, please. A 14 and a 19. Missed it a little in both lanes there. Next up, Robert Vogler III in the left lane out of Louisville, North Carolina. Right lane is Vince Schroeder from Paxenos, Pennsylvania. Again, looking for a double O to get you 100. A triple O will get you 1,000. he still gets $100. Vogler, 7th thou red. Schroeder missed $1,000 in a shot at by only a thou. It's $100 courtesy of 001 reaction. Gabe Taylor in the left, Val Vincent over in the right. 21 and 25 on the tree. Again, racers, no worries. If you see somebody make a full pass, they're not getting a time slip that gives them incremental. So no worries. Nobody's getting information that you don't have. Next up, coming out of Kentucky in the left lane is Jeremy Bargo. Right lane is Jerry Brewer. Out of Lumberton, North Carolina. Bargo, 22 on the tree. Once again, new entries. New entries need you in the staging lanes, please. New entry time trial need you in the staging lanes, please. Folks, don't forget, we're going to take our Spring Fling family photo. We want everybody on the grounds up here in front of the grandstands. Going to take a picture from the top of the tower. Get our traditional K&N Spring Fling family photo. So no matter the reason you're here, we'd love to have you up here in front of the grandstands in just probably 10, 15 minutes. We'll be ready for our Spring Fling family photo. Everett Justice in the left lane, Lexington, North Carolina racer. Matt Shapiro in the right from Tabernacle, New Jersey. 00 gets him 100, 000 gets 1,000. 005 for Shapiro gets him $100. Everett Justice, 16 on the tree. Taking a solo, here be Antoine Jett out of Mount. Antoine going to get $100. 008 on the reaction. A lot of people collecting that $100 bill. We have yet to get a $1,000 winner. Let's see if Tim Thomas from Lumberton, North Carolina can get that done. He'll go by himself, I think. Yes, single here for Tim Thomas. about Tim Thomas? There's 1,000. He's going to get to come back for an opportunity at $10,000. Tim Thomas, our last competitor, goes 000 and collects $1,000 from Kyle and Peter. Tim's feeling pretty good right now. He'll feel real good if he can duplicate that with another 000 reaction. That'll get him paid $10,000 from Kyle and Peter. So Tim Thomas going to get a shot to come back around and do it one more again for a shot at 10 G's. All right, so we're going to bring Tim Thomas back around. Going to give him 2 or 3 minutes to get his program reset and come back and take another shot for an opportunity to win $10,000. Nate, I was going to give you 7 or 8 hours just to quit all that, man. So Tim Thomas is going to come back around. Then we're going to have our new entry time trial again. Everyone, be mindful that we want everybody here, everybody on the grounds. We want you up here in front of the grandstands around the starting line area for our K&N Spring Fling family photo.
Hey, Jared, just kind of one more reminder, new entries. This is going to be kind of a final call, new entries. We know that we had a handful of folks come through the gate last night. We got a few folks that are doing their swap, all that kind of stuff. But new entries, final call. If you need to get through tech and be in the staging lanes to be ready, new entries, this is your final call. Again, we are going to bring Tim Thomas back around here. We're going to give him one more shot at trying to see if he can turn that grand into $10,000 by going 000 again. But new entries, final call. You need to be through tech and in the staging lanes for your time run, new entries, final call.
As Tim Thomas rolls back up here getting ready for a shot at $10,000, we want to remind everyone here we're going to take our Spring Fling family photo right out here in front of the grandstands around the starting line area. And we want to make sure that each and every person on the grounds is here. We want to get everybody in our family photo. It's tradition at any Spring Fling event. We've been doing it at Bristol for, I guess, 7, 8 years, and Vegas for 5 years or so. And we're going to start that here at Galot as well. We're going to have our K&N Spring Fling presented by Optima Batteries family photo. We want everybody here up here in the picture. It's kind of a Where's Waldo thing when you get that picture in the mail, and everybody that's got an entry to the event gets that photo mailed to them along with a thank you letter. Kyle and Peter send those out sometime later in the year. So if you're here, that photo will just be mailed to the address that's on your tech card. Whatever address we've got for you, they send you the family photo. So you get to play Where's Waldo and try to figure out where you were, where your friends and other family members are. So in order to accomplish that, we need as many people as possible in the picture. Just kind of get lost in there. So we want everybody here to come up for the Spring Fling family photo, which will be taken immediately following getting door cars in the lanes once they're called. We'll have the most amount of people we can get in the staging lanes at that time, which will help us get a lot of people up here in the photo. So be ready. If you are not part of the door car group and you're in Dragster, don't think you're cooler than we are because you're not in the staging lanes and not show up for the picture. Bug McCarty's kind of guy that might not show up for the picture, but I'm going to go get him myself and drag him down here. So Bug McCarty, he'll be part of the cool kids He'll be in the picture, so we want everybody to get in the picture. So they're down there talking to Tim Thomas. Peter and Kyle's trying to talk Tim into taking 15 out of the box, thinking he may be a little slow right here, but I don't think he's buying it. Peter said, "You're really slow on that second one. Everything's hot, and it just doesn't move quite as fast. Take 15 out." Your tires are going to be bigger because they're swollen. All that stuff. You just need to pull some out. Yeah. Yeah, you're all hot and sweaty, so you're simulating a back-to-back run. Peter said he forgot to tell Tim, you must change lanes and no burnout on the second time around. So here we have Tim Thomas. Tim just lit it up as the last car down in the reaction time challenge. He lit it up perfect, 000. That got him $1,000 in cash from Kyle and Peter. He gets the opportunity to come back around, take one more shot at it for $10,000. The question is now, do you touch the box? Do you just roll with what got you there? You add a little for some adrenaline. Do you take some out for nerves? A lot of stuff going through his head. Whatever it is, here he is taking his shot at $10,000. Tim Thomas. Oh, Thomas. 002 red. 2,000 from collecting that $10,000. Great job by Tim Thomas. Our new entry time trial is about to happen right here. Then we're going to get some door cars in the lanes, and we'll be ready to go for eliminations in Cooks round number 1 here on Jegs Saturday at the K&N Spring Fling presented by Optima. Thanks to our great friends from Jegs for bringing today's action to you. Cooks round 1 in door car coming up. We'll be calling you shortly. Spring Fling family photo going to happen as well right out here in front of the grandstands.
All right, so Jed's making his way down over towards the main grandstands. Racers, once again, as we've got our new time runs, our new entries, making some time runs down here. We're going to get them in, get them an opportunity to cruise on down the racetrack. And again, we want our racers getting ready for the Spring Fling family photo. Again, if you are in the dragster group, leave your cars in the pits. Go ahead and start just walking up here to the grandstands. We want to get everybody up into the grandstands. If you are in the dragster group, here in just a little while, we're going to be calling like door cars into the staging lanes. And then you guys can basically pull in and you can leave the cars in the lanes, walk right up into the grandstands for the family photo as well. So again, it would just kind of make sense is John Evans. Going to roll up in the Camaro, one of our first new entry time trials. Again, if you are running a dragster here this weekend, just leave the car in the pit area, get on the golf cart, walk up here, whatever it is, come to the main grandstands. We want to get everybody set up for the family photo. So again, if you're running dragsters, do that. Leave them in the pits, get on the golf cart, head up here towards the grandstands. If you've got a door car, again, remember, we'll be calling the door cars here into the staging lanes in just a little while. So if you are racing in the door car category, just be ready because we're going to call you into the lanes. You can drive the car up here, get it parked in the lanes, and then get out and come on over to the grandstands for the photo. That way you're already in the lanes and ready to go for round number 1. So again, if you're in the dragsters, leave them in the pits, get on the golf cart, come to the grandstands. If you're running in door car, be ready for that call. We're going to get them in the lanes, and then we're going to do our family photo, and then you're just already right there, ready to run. Here's a guy called Brew, Troy Brewer. Out of Shannon, he's lining up the little Mustang, and then we've got the numberless one, which I guess is going to be Lee Dixon in a brand new race car. He's 30 on the tree, 488. Troy Brewer goes 694 on his time shot. He's going to bring up Sasser. That's Trey Sasser and Trey Dalton. So we went from Brew to Trey. Sasser over on the left side, Dalton on the right. Again, new entries. We're getting them taken care of, and I do understand that one of our new entries, Morning Rooster, brought not just one but 2 cars. So he's going to swing back around into the staging lanes, get another shot as Trey Sasser, 002, leaving early. Trey Dalton had the 61 bulb and then runs 569. Sasser 648. Again, we are right in the middle of new entry time runs. We got just a few of them here. Once again, we are going to be doing our Spring Fling family photo. It's like a good old fun family, or good old fashioned fun family Christmas, whatever it is. Dean Miller rolling up on the dragster. So again, if you are here in the dragster class, leave the cars in the pits, come on up to the grandstands. We want to get everybody in the photo. If you have not yet, those of you that went to the bracketraces.com page or the Galot Motorsports Park, the Spring Fling Galot page, you saw those photos where everybody gets together down either on the starting line or in front of the tower, or here we're going to do it in the grandstands. We want you to be part of that as well. As Jed said, it's kind of that perfect deal, the Where's Waldo type stuff. 15 on the tree, and then 508 for Dean Miller. Bring out Tanner Miller. So Tanner running out of Bluefield, Virginia, 72 Vega wagon. Class. I love that car. That thing's cool. 44. Going to be the reaction time for Tanner Miller. Shoots down to a 6:44 with a 4. So a lot of 4s on the board for Tanner Miller. We'll bring up Mason Harris Jr. Again, new entries are just about wrapping up here. We are going to want everybody into the grandstands for the Spring Fling, the family photo. So please start making your way this direction. Again, if you've got a door car, we're going to be calling you into the staging lane. So we'll have our door cars getting ready to go to the lanes. All right, we are finishing up our new arrivals. We got one more that's making his way back as a double entry here this morning, so we're going to get them back into the staging lanes. So we're going to take that final new entry into the staging lanes. Hey, John Taylor with that 55 Chevrolet. John Taylor, with your 55 Chevrolet, we would like to ask you to bring that car over to the front of the staging lanes, please. John Taylor. You have got that 55 Chevrolet. We would like you to bring that car down to the front of the staging lanes. Basically, John Taylor, what we want you to do is bring your car, coming up here to the staging lanes. Instead of getting in the middle of the staging lanes, just kind of go around to the side and pull it up off to the side over on the other side of that orange and black bike fence. That way we can get that squared away. But John Taylor, if you've got that 55 Chevrolet, as you bring it up to the staging lanes, instead of pulling into the staging lanes, pull off to the side like you're going to come around to the tower, so go on the other side of that orange and black bike fence and park it up near the front of the staging lanes right there. So John Taylor, bring that beautiful Chevrolet and park it over on the opposite side of the bike fence so that we can get you squared away. And then at this point, we are just about done with our new entries. So door cars, round number one, round number one. We're going to pull you into the staging lanes 1 and 2, door cars, lanes 1 and 2. We're going to start you there. Round number one for the door cars. So again, if you're driving a dragster here this weekend, just bring the family, bring your friends, bring your pals, get on the golf cart, come on up here to the grandstands. We're going to get our family photo situated. So door cars, we need you to the lanes 1 and 2. So if you're driving a door car, bring your door car to the lanes, then jump out of the door car and come on up to the grandstands for the family photo. Again, we're calling the door cars in for round number one. Making lanes 1 and 2, door cars, lanes 1 and 2. We've got just new entry time runs taking place right now. So again, if you got a door car, bring it up, park it in the lanes, jump on out, come into the grandstands for the photo. If you're racing a dragster here this weekend, leave those in the pits. Get on the golf cart and come on down. So new entries continuing. Once again, John Taylor, bring your 55, bring your Chevrolet, bring it up here, go to the opposite side of that bike fence and park up near the front of the staging lanes. Door cars for round number one. We want you in the staging lanes, please. Door cars, round number one. Bring those cars up, get them parked in the staging lanes. Then we're going to get everybody up into the grandstands for a photo. If you're running a dragster here this weekend, leave the dragsters back in the pits. Just bring yourselves, bring your family, bring the whole crew up here into the grandstand so that we can get this family photo taken. Again, we want everybody to be part of the first family photo that is taken here at Galot Motorsports Park as part of the Spring Fling series of events, and we definitely want to get you in there, get your smiling face, and as Jed had mentioned, those photos do get mailed out to everybody that participated in the event. We've got your address on your tech card. It is one of those deals where it's pretty fun, and we want you to be part of the photo as well. So we do have one door car, a couple of dragsters. We've got to get the dragsters pulled forward so we can finish up our new entry time runs. Door cars, round number one. We need you into the lanes, please. Door cars, round number one. Bring the cars, park them. Let's get going. Door cars, you're starting in lanes 1 and 2. And John Taylor, please bring your Chevrolet, bring your car. That red and white ride that you've got, bring it up here. And instead of pulling into the staging lanes, we'd like you to pull off to the right side of the staging lanes on the opposite side of that orange and black bike fence. We'd like to have that pushed up there up front, please. So just finishing up our new entries. We've got one pair left, couple of dragsters. Then we're going to be ready for our family photo. And that is something that we definitely want everybody to be a part of. It's kind of one of those good memories after having been here for several years as part of the Spring Fling family. It's one of the things that I do get to look back on, and it is kind of fun. You look back at the photos that were taken at the Bristol events. You look back at the photos that have been taken at the Vegas events. We want kind of the same memory from here at Galot. And we want everybody to be part of it. So again, door cars, we want you into the staging lanes. We'll get all of those door cars staged up and ready to go. That way, after the family photo, we can go ahead and go into round number one. Of course, everybody will be given time. You'll get plenty of opportunity to get back, catch your breath, and be ready to go for round number one. With the last couple of cars in the new entry time runs. And then it's picture time. Door cars, we're running a little light. We do know that we did have some folks that kind of loaded up and headed out last night or first thing this morning because they may have some other opportunities, but I'm pretty sure we got more than 6 door cars on property. At least, that's just my gut. It's just my suspicion. I'm thinking we're going to be a little bit more than that. So door cars, again, second call, door cars. We do need you into the staging lanes. Door cars, we need you to lanes 1 and 2. Door cars, we need you to lanes 1 and 2, please. Door cars to lanes 1 and 2. Come on down. We need you in the lanes, please. Again, we'd like you to bring the cars up. If you're driving a door car, we'd like you to bring the cars into the staging lanes and then head up into the grandstands for the photo. If you're driving a dragster here this weekend, we'd like you to just come on down to the grandstand so that we can get that picture taken. I know there are probably several of you that are still in the motorhome trying to fix your hair, trying to get your makeup on, trying to make everything look right. But we would love it if you would come down and join us for the family photo. So again, door cars. This is going to be second call. We need door cars. Into the lanes for round number one. We need everybody down near the grandstands for the family photo, please. The one, the only, the ultimate Spring Fling family photo photographer. John DeBartolomeo already getting like everything set up. You want him down farther that way? John, I'm not really good at charades, so I'm guessing you're pointing at this concrete area right here. You want everybody gathering up? All right. So the concrete area at the end of the grandstands, if we could make sure that we keep all of the golf carts out of that area, because that looks like the white golf cart that's just pulling in right there. If we could get you to move out of the way, I think that is where we're going to be doing our family photo. All right. So all of the golf carts, all that stuff, basically the area directly below the American flag at the end of the grandstands where that concrete is. We want to keep all of the golf carts, keep everything out of that area. We're going to bring everybody down to the end of the grandstands. John's already standing up top of the grandstands. That way you can get a really good aerial shot of everybody. But those golf carts that just got parked in that area, if we can get them moved out of the way, that'd be great. We're going to throw everybody right down on that concrete area. That is where we're going to do our family photo. I think even Jed's rolling around down there somewhere. He might be back getting Big Red, and he might be answering the call to bring the door cars into the staging lanes. So again, if you got a dragster, leave it in the pit. If you got a door car, bring it into the staging lanes. Get it ready to go for round number one. And everybody that is on property, the place you should be right now is the concrete area at the end of the grandstands so that we can gather everybody together and do our family photo. Please. You're part of the family. We want you in the picture. We do, we do. All right, so basically, racers, we are about 5 minutes away. 5 minutes from now, John is going to have the camera up. He's going to be snapping the shot. We want you to be part of it, so 5 minutes. In 5 minutes, we're going to have everybody gathered up, and we're going to be doing it. So this is going to be your last call. It's going to be last call. We need door cars into the lanes. Lanes 1 and 2 is where we're starting. Looks like we're already starting to push over into 3 and 4, but door cars, we need you into the staging lanes. And last call for the family photo. Last call. We need everybody down here in front of the grandstands on that concrete area. Last call. The cameras will go up in 5 minutes. So 5 minutes. The countdown has begun. Countdown is on. Four minutes. 4 minutes. All right, everybody, that gets the point on that. Again, countdown's on. We want everybody in the photo, please get over to the concrete area. Door cars, you should be in the staging lanes, be ready to go for round number 1. But we want the entire family to be part of this shot. This is kind of a big deal. It's a big deal for all of us. And it means a lot. So if you would please make sure that you are there. We are about 3 minutes away. Come on down. We're going to put our mics and head down there as well. Okay, so John is saying we want everybody to move right in here in the middle. Don't be shy, come in, be friendly. Shake hands and form a great big old circle. the circle of family, I don't know, circle of life, whatever it might be. 1 minute. 1 minute left. Come on. Family photo time, the first one. All right, everybody got to squeeze in. You have a wide-angle cameras, but it's not that wide. 30 seconds. 30 seconds, and you're back in the staging lanes. Run. Double time. I actually did see somebody run. Nice. Very cool. Everybody get in. It looks like we're looking good. Everybody squeeze together. Get really close. This is a family picture. I don't know if you're like my family, maybe you don't like each other, but most of you do. Come on, there you go. Squeeze it in, John. How are we doing so far? Tired? Tired. All right. Put the squeeze on. Be friends. We're down to 15 seconds. All right, spring fling shirts, spring fling staff, spring fling staff. That's not that easy to say. Spring fling staff. We want all the spring fling staff up front, please. If you're wearing a spring fling shirt, sound like trying to say spring fling family photo. But again, spring fling staff, we want you up right here. At least that's what John's calling for. Come on. Right? I'm trying to get that part down. Come on. All right. 10 seconds. We're close. Let's go. Come on. Come fast. Come on. I mean, this is North Carolina. It's supposed to be a hotbed for racing and people that care about racing. What is this garbage? Come on, y'all get up here. This is North Carolina. Y'all supposed to be famous for racing. This is a racing mecca. And y'all can sit right there while we're taking the spring fling family photo. Y'all ain't too cool. So, y'all ain't too cool to get taken. Let's go. All right, thank you so much, everybody, for coming up and being part of the photo. Again, those will all get mailed out. We appreciate you being part of the spring fling family. Now, we're going to be getting ready to go with round number one. So those of you that have already got your cars in the staging lanes, just head back, get your stuff situated, take a breath, be ready to go. Day number at last, the checks, $20,000 Saturday, about to get underway. The racers, thank you. I mean, from all of us here at the Spring Fling, thank you for being here this week, for participating in the event. We wish you the best of luck on the final day of the Spring Fling. Your check's $20,000 win Saturday. Again, take a breath, enjoy it. Remember this moment, what a spectacular event it has been. We've got one more full day to go. On behalf of all of us at the Spring Fling, on behalf of Emily, Peter, Kyle, the whole crew that makes the Spring Fling possible, we would like to thank each and every one of the racers. We would like to thank each and every one of the wives, the husbands, the mothers, the daughters, the sisters, the brothers, everybody that has been out here supporting each other to have a fun and fantastic week of racing. We definitely appreciate you being here. We know that this event, we talk about the sponsors, we talk about what it takes to put on an event like this, but without you, the racers, an event like this is not possible at all. So we do thank our sponsors, we do thank those that help us, but most importantly, racers, we thank you for being out here. This has been a spectacular week of racing, and we know that today will be no exception. And with that, we would like to go ahead and start things off today with just a round of applause for you, the racers. If you would please give yourselves a round of applause. What a spectacular event it has been, and we look forward to many, many more in the years to come. So as we get ready to start things off, Matt Zapp again is here with Godspeed Ministries. Ladies and gentlemen, if you would please rise and remove your caps as we turn the time over for what should be the appropriate way to start off any day, our invocation. Matt.
Thank you, Nate. I appreciate it very kindly. Ladies and gentlemen, as he said, we'd like to start today off with a good word and thank the Lord for all we have. Dear Father, we come to you. We come to you this morning humbled and grateful. Grateful for a safe week, a fantastic week, a week that has ran to completion. And Lord, if it is in your will, we ask for one more day to do it again here today at Galot Motorsports Park. We ask for your confided blessing over the track staff, the new personnel that are here helping us today, and all those putting this function on. Lord, we ask that you carry each pair of drivers from the starting line through the shutdown area safely and back to their stalls. And in, God forbid, Lord, there's a chance that we're called upon to serve them. May we serve them with dignity, with expediency, and with the right opportunities. And that's what I mean if we're in a situation where EMS or our track staff are called upon. Just allow us to be the best servants possible through you. But if it is in your will, Lord, we ask that we're not called to do that today, that we can have another day filled with fun, excitement, and exuberance as we challenge ourselves against our competition. And may we serve and be served as ladies and gentlemen in all that we do. And Lord, if there's anybody out there today that's hurting, that's sick, that's down, we ask that you can lift them up. Put our servants that are in the field, our soldiers for Christ, around them. And may we touch our friends and neighbors and help lift them up as we have been so well served this week by the family that owns this facility and the family that put this event on. Allow us to return the favor to them by passing it forward to someone else. Be with us, Lord, today as we're putting you first. In Christ Jesus, amen. And if you would not, if you would mind to stay standing, and we'd ask that you turn your attention to the flag flying above the main grandstand along stage lane 1, or take your attention to the Advanced Auto Parts scoreboard as we begin the playing.
Ladies and gentlemen, would you please rise for the playing of our national anthem?
Red stars, red stars, red stars, red stars.
Way to go, it's race day. Last day of the Fling here at Galot Motorsports Park. Again, thank you to K&N, thank you to Optima Batteries, thank you to Yukon Gear and Axle, Wiseco Performance Parts, Strange Engineering, Jegs, Mickey Thompson, Hoosier. Thank you to all of the folks at Cook's Headers, Biondo Racing Products, ATI Performance, Goodyear, FTI, Autometer, BTE, Todd's, who put up that MVP award. Thanks to the folks at Mazier, Racepack, Ultronics, True Start, everybody that made this whole thing possible. What a spectacular and wonderful, fantastic week it has been of racing. The first pair of the final day on a Jags $20,000 to win Saturday is in the water box. We got Street, Kevin Pollard, loose change, going up against the bottom bulber and Kevin Pollard, the pick-em-up truck out of Buena Vista in Virginia. 572 going to be the dial-in for Kevin. For Overstreet, he's got it dialed in at 665. Let's go, let's go. Find out who gets to be the first one to light up the scoreboard. And Pollard lights up something, but it's not the scoreboard. Unfortunately, it's a red light. Sixth thou. Kevin Pollard leaves early off the bottom bulb. Jason Overstreet, 659 on the 665 as Overstreet had a 19th thou reaction time. That's going to bring up the next couple, Lee DeSist and John Albright. Albright, he's got the 1990 Beretta for Lee DeSist out of Fayetteville. Got the white Camaro, dialed in at 627. Head start will go to Lee DeSist. The chasing will be done by John Albright. As again, door cars, final call, door cars. You should be in the staging lanes, please. Final call, door cars. For round number 1, you should be in the staging lanes. Thou. The difference in reaction time, wind light's going to go to Albright. He had the 028 light. Lead assist was 2 thou better than that with an 026 bulb. As John Albright runs 542 on the 540 number. Getting there first by 0.05 of a second. Lead assist had a 26 light and then runs 634 on the 627. Just couldn't quite get the car to run the number that he had predicted that it would. As Brendan George, Colby Fuller. Fuller in the Camaro, George in the S10 pickup truck. Just a quick little reminder that buybacks are in effect today, so if you are finding yourself on the wrong side when you get down to the finish line in round number 1, if you do not light up that scoreboard, if the win lights are not in your favor, you get the opportunity to buy back. And on a final day when there's still $20,000 on the line, it just doesn't make sense to pack it up and roll out. Brendan George 001 and goes 653 on a 653 for an 8,000th package. 001 dead 7 for Brendan George. Colby Fuller had an 023 reaction time and was not only ineligible for a win light there, he was pretty much outside the ballpark, still at the gates trying to get in. Kenny Underwood and Jeff Verdi. Verdi, how about the guys out of Virginia, Glen Allen, home base for the 582 dialed in. 68 Firebird for Kenny Underwood. In the Camaro, he's dialed 575. Womp womp. Wind light's going to go Underwood's way. 76 on a 75. He had a 29,000th bulb. Jeff Verdi was 2 thou quicker than that with a 27 light. But Underwood gets there first by 12, runs 76 on the 75. Jeff Verdi was 2 above, 84 on the 82. As Verdi bows out in round number 1, he'll have to buy back. Again, the buyback window is open for those of you that have been lucky enough that you did not have to utilize the buyback window this weekend and still don't know where it is. It is located upstairs here in the tower. The easiest way to do that is walk around the tower on the water box side, come around to the back. There's a door that's open. Walk right up the stairs, and the table will be situated right at the top of the stairs. Seth Phillips, Kevin Glenn, 582 the dial-in for Kevin Glenn, 614 the dial-in for Phillips, another one of the bottom bulbers. Ooh, Kevin Glenn, the chase is on. The Chevy Deuce trying to catch up to him. He's going to run 582 on a 582, 11 on the tree, and then dead on 5 for a 16 thousandths package. Seth Phillips had a 24 thousandths react time and then runs 12 thou over down at the far end. So Kevin Glenn gets there first by 200ths of a second is Don Bean Jr. and Raider Campbell. Campbell in the Camaro for the folks at House of Pain Performance out of Virginia, and Don Bean Jr., another of the Virginia-based cars. 7-bodied Mustang, 496 cubic inches under the hood. For Campbell, it's 565 cubic inches. Don Bean dialed in at 654. 321. Raider Campbell dialed in at 566. 3 thousandths the difference in reaction time between the two cars. As they get down there, it's going to be Raider Campbell getting the win light this time. He's 15 thou reaction and then dead on 5 for a 20 pack. Don Bean Jr. had a 12 thou bulb, runs it down to 5 over with a 659 on a 654. So as we bring up Aaron Bale and Josh Netherton, I got to turn that one down. We had that mic set up kind of more for me, and it takes a little bit less out of it because I seem to talk louder. JJ's joining us up here in the booth once again. Been a trooper all weekend long, getting things taken care of. 596 to a 669. Bale had the 669 dial in. Josh Netherton had the 596 number, and it's going to be Netherton getting there first by a thou. 1 thou. After he was 004, take 1 little one. Down at the stripe, Aaron Vale with a 39 thousandths reaction time. Was doing all right until, well, he got to the end. So Netherton holds on for the win light as Brock Mosier and Michelle Pilo.
Mosier, 564 dial in. Pilo, 647.
Get you turned back up here a little bit.
All right.
Here we go.
10 thou, separate them on the tree. Win light, Brock Mosier. How about 14, one above 1? I think he dropped to go one above with a 1 at 114. Yeah, he dropped. Pilo. 4, take 43 to be 22 thou under. Yeah, she got dropped.
So we bring up George Hoff and Eric Thomas. Hoff, for the folks at SFG Promotions out of Westminster, Maryland. That's 66 Fairlane. Going to dial it up at 722. Eric Thomas dialing it in at 565. And Thomas at a Fairmont. That's 67-bodied Camaro. Off. Out of the gate and red. Fouled it out 9 thousandths of a second. Eric Thomas was 004 on the bulb. Runs down to a 68 on a 65 as Hoff gave that one away on the starting line.
Seems like everybody's 004 now.
004 is the cool kids. That's the cool kids club today.
All right. It sure seems like it because everybody's been 004.
You want to be part of the cool kids club?
Yeah.
004.
Okay.
Cool.
Michael Morton, right-hand side, out of Jacksonville, North Carolina, dialed in 659, and Ernie Humes, 670 on the left, out of Troutman, North Carolina, and 8 thou, separate them up front. Win light going to Morton, 13, 2 above 4, taking 19. As Humes was 21 and goes 3 above.
Jordan Arnold. Arnold, the 72 Nova out of Florida. Dialed 639. Justice Dialed in at 544. JJ, who's had a good night's rest, getting ready to go, and you still look like you're a little tired in your eyes, JJ. Doing all right? Okay, good. Glad to hear it. Justice, 544. It's going to be Jordan Arnold with the head start.
18 thou, separate him up front. This is going to the finish. Double breakout win going to Justice 6 and 5 thou under. Taking 6. Arnold, 24 and 17 thou under. No good.
Whew. Ken MacArthur wants to make sure that those tires are nice and warm. He was just hurt. Valve Springs rolling away through the water box. 550.
I think he's going to have to.
Identical in reaction time. Jeremy Bargo and Ken MacArthur finish line is going to be Jeremy Bargo 53 on a 53. He's dead on 6 after he was 21 thou on the bull. MacArthur also with the 21 thou light runs down to a 2 above. Jeremy Bargo gets there first by 17.
Daryl Pittman left hand side 623 and Randy Sessoms right hand side down 637. Pittman from Axon, Georgia. And then Sessoms from Roseboro, North Carolina. 1 thou, separate on the tree. Win light on a double breakout, going to Pittman. 12 and 8 thou under. Picking up the win. Sessoms was 11 on the tree. Breaks it out 22 thou. Everybody's going 22 thou under.
They are. Hey, racers, we've got some more prizes to give away. The prize vault is not empty yet. Racers, just kind of a heads up, the very first Trip Zip Perfect reaction time that we see is going to get a $300 gift certificate from those Jones transmission cooler folks. So a $300 gift certificate from the Jones transmission cooling team, and we want to make sure that somebody gets that. So again, the first Trip Zip that we see during eliminations here this morning won't be Mike Moore, won't be Chuck Sanders. They are separated by 1/100th of a second as they leave the starting line. And Mike Moore with the better bulbs going to get there first by 100th. 607 on the 604 with a 16 thou light. Chuck Sanders had a 26 thousandths bulb and runs 622 on a 619. And to answer those that are already watching along on that Jegs and Mickey Thompson sponsored Motor Mania TV feed live from the final day here at the Spring Fling, yes, the party did keep JJ up last night. As a matter of fact, I'm going to have to give JJ props because when I got in the car and drove out of here, JJ was still at the party. That guy, you're a rock star when it comes to being able to keep the party going. You know that?
Well, thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. He was basically outlasting everybody.
Joe Gary, left-hand side, 551. Barry Techie Jr., right-hand side, 613. And the win light's going to Gary. 11 and 27 thou above for a 38 thousandths package. Techie was 50 up front. No chance. Mathematically ineligible. Breaks it out 2 thou trying to get there.
That'll bring up Jason Stowe and Sean Carpenter. Carpenter in the Camaro. Stowe in a pickup truck out of Smithfield. So a 623 to a 595. I agree. I do like the term dime. But that's kind of like you and Dad's thing. I'm not going to jump in on it and like follow it and all that kind of stuff.
31, separate them up front, and the win light's going to Sean Carpenter. So he's 27, 2 above 5. Taking 35. Stowe was 58 up front. Goes 2 above with a 9 to get behind 35 at the finish.
So Don Hanson, Shorty Raider, and by the way, you're welcome, Radio Tire. It's we had to do it. Absolutely had to do it. Hopefully they'll be out here in just a little while. But Hanson, 613. Shorty Raider, 518. They are separated by just about roundabout a second. Hanson out of Florida. That S10 pickup truck, he'll be doing the first leave. Shorty Raider will be doing the chasing. And that 67 Chevy, too, which I definitely find that to be an absolutely beautiful, beautiful race car. As we were looking at kind of that best appearing option that we were taking. That was one that was on my short list.
There it is. Shorty Raider, 000. He'll get a $300 cooler. $300 Jones Trans Cooler certificate for the first 000. How about 000 and 20 thou above? 20 total. Hanson was 20 on the tree and 22 thou above. 42 total. Get behind 22.
So that first 000 of the day out the door. Again, that $300 Jones gift certificate. Nice job, JJ, catching that right off the bat. As we bring up David Wassler and Ashley Parker. Racer in need. We got a racer in need. George Hoff is in need of an old school Moroso water pump drive. George Hoff is a racer in need. If you could help him out, we need an old school Moroso water pump drive as David Wassler gets the win. Ashley Parker, 598 on a 598, but Wassler, 627.9 after she was 26 on the tree.
Harold Bell Jr., 555, triple nickel on the left-hand side, and Michael Jackson, 582 in the right. Jackson, maybe this will be a thriller for Michael Jackson. Or maybe he's going to tell his opponent to beat it. Or maybe he'll be a smooth criminal. Well, 27 thou separate him up front. Tell the tale at the finish. Win light. Bell, 003 dead on with a 4-7 total. Jackson was 32 above 2 to get behind 45.
Yeah, that's all right. I'm kidding, JJ. 7,000 pretty darn impressive for the first thing in the morning. That's pretty cool. You gave me that look like, are you kidding me? You're right, I am kidding you. The 7,000 was impressive first round as Lou Greco and Justin Logan going to come up here. And racers, racer in need. George Hoff is in need of an old school Moroso water pump drive. If you have something that can help him out, bring it up here to the tower. We'll call him up. He'll be happy to come up and work things out with you. But George Hoff is in need of an old school, kind of match the race car, Moroso water pump drive.
4,000 separate them up front. Both are 00. Win light is going to Logan, 005. 2 above 9 for the win. Lou Greco was 009, was behind 4,000. He gets there first by 30 to break it out 5. Had to take 25 or less.
Now I'll bring up Phil Bullock and David Bell. Bell out of Severn, Georgia, I think is the name of that town. 71 Vega. That's a pretty race car, dialed in at 599. And Phil Bullock. Bullock, that 1966 long roof Chevy, the Nova, dialed in at 607. So the Nova gets to leave first.
Wagoon.
Yeah, I actually like that, the Wagoon. I even like the rat fink on the back. Cool. Red light start, Dave Bell.
The Wagoon picking up the win. 6 dead 0 for Philip Bullock. 6-pack right out the gate. Bell leaves it 7,000 red.
See, JJ, that's what I was saying earlier.
With a 1.
That's what I was saying earlier. That 7-pack, 6-pack, that's pretty cool. I'm kidding. They're both very impressive. Nice run by Phil Bullock.
Especially right off the trailer.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Big lap here.
Only time run they've made today was warming their cars up in the staging lanes and stuff.
Well, we did time their run to get to the picture. A lot of them ended up running in order to make it in time for the picture. I'm glad you were over there. Bright and early, ready to go?
Me too. I'm glad I was too.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't think I was going to make it for a minute.
A little worried? Wait, what?
What?
let's see here. Apparently, they are noticing a couple of little water droplets that I don't think it's raining. I'm not going to use that word. It's not doing that. What happened was the sprinklers from the field across the way, the wind caught it, and it just came this direction, and it's going to be gone in a minute. I'm not going to accept that R word. We won't use that today. It's just not going to happen, Charles.
Yeah, the R word is definitely not in play today, but the few clouds that are passing over is just dropping just a little bit, just enough to make us all mad and stop us, but it should be getting out of the way here soon, and we'll be right back to racing. But want to thank everybody at Galot Motorsports Park. Thank you for coming out to the Spring Fling. Tremendous success here, and we look forward to having you guys back in 2017 or 18. Excuse me.
Well, Charles, we definitely want to thank you guys, your crew. We saw, just how early you guys get here, how late you stay. I mean, even last night while the party was wrapping up, your guys were still out here scraping the starting line, making sure everything was good. You have provided a top-notch, A-plus facility for each and every one of the racers that have been out here this week, and definitely just defined for us that Peter and Kyle had made the right choice in the decision to move it over here to Galot when they needed to find a new facility and a new home for their, basically for their original baby, for the original Spring Fling.
Yeah, and it was definitely an honor for all of us here at Galot to actually have the Spring Fling here. I know Peter and Kyle kind of took a risk on us, and I think all in all it's paid off pretty well. Like I said, for all of our racers showing up, we can't say thank you enough for that and making this event successful. And Peter and Kyle are great guys. I can tell you they're awesome to partner with on this, and it's been a true partnership. It's not been just a track rental or anything like that. Peter and Kyle are the best in the business, and that's why we're so delighted to have the Spring Fling here in 2017.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you very much. A lot of folks are good to go there. And speaking of good to go, just real quick, again, that Moroso water pump that we were looking for, we actually found that, so thank you, racers, for getting that taken care of. But, yeah, as we said earlier, as we're waiting on a little bit of those sprinklers across the street to shut off, that's what it is. It's not the R word. It's the sprinklers across the street. Once those shut off and we're ready to go, then we will continue on. But racers, we did say this morning. We'll say it over and over and over, that without you, without the racers that show up at the gate, I mean, you look at just the number of new entries that we had this morning on the final day of racing that we put down the racetrack in order to get everybody their time shot before we started racing for those new entries. You guys are the whole reason that these events are successful as they are. And, the sponsors knew that you guys would turn up. That's why they wanted to be a part of it. They knew that Peter and Kyle were going to be putting together a program that was going to be second to none. And by second to none, you talk about some of the the big buck bracket races that are held across the country. I really do not believe, and I'm not saying this, in a negative way towards anybody else, but I really do not believe that there is a program out there that can match what Peter Biondo and Kyle Seipel have put together with the help of their families. Of course, Emily back home, who we really, really wish could be here, but she has got some pretty important things to take care of as the Biondo family begins to expand a little bit further. But we want to make sure that you racers know how much it is appreciated by all of us here that you are here this weekend. So we're going to wait on that rain to blow itself through here. And oops, I did drop that word. Oh, shame on me. I messed that up. Now I'll have to make up for it somehow. I'm going to have to put like $30 in the swear jar for using the R word. But either way, we'll have to take care of it. See here. No, I don't think we've had any of those issues. Yeah, it is an R word violation. I will do better at not using that, so the sprinklers across the street should shut off. Hey, we've got the drag tractor out there, and let's see. As soon as we can get that back, we'll start at it again. Again, we are on the final day of the Fling. And it's going to be another good one. So we've got, again, we had that first 000 reaction time that we were looking for. That ended up going to Shorty Raider. So Shorty Raider, you had the first 000 bulb, which was good for a Jones transmission cooler, $300 gift certificate. You can come up here. We're also going to be giving away a whole bunch more stuff throughout the day. I mean, we've got that page gift certificates that we're going to be giving out. We've got the Design Joint $100 gift certificate that we'll be giving away. Sometime today, racers, we haven't exactly decided when, but we have got a brand new Bell helmet for the racer that needs it the most. Now, the way that we're going to do this, it worked out really well in Vegas, the way that we did this. Essentially, we're going to set aside about a 30-minute window. We exactly identified what time that, but we are going to set aside a 30-minute window. During that 30 minutes, we are going to allow all of the racers that believe that they are the one that needs a helmet the most to bring your helmet to the tower. We'll take pictures of that helmet, and then we will judge based on the racer that actually does need that helmet the most, and the racer that does will end up with a brand new Bell helmet. Now, that is not now. We're not exactly sure when that 30-minute window will be, but we will make sure to announce it, let you know when it is. And if you think that you are in need of a new Bell helmet, when the time comes, you can bring it up here. We'll take some photos of it. We'll judge it and determine which racer needs that helmet the most. Again, when we decide what time that will be, we'll call you up here to do that. We've also got some case of ATI Super F. We've got the Mickey Thompson set of Mickey Thompsons that are going to be given away kind of randomly throughout the day, but we've got a whole lot of stuff. And then I am not sure, but if Robert Vogler has made it up here to the tower yet to see Sean, or if Chaz Silence has made it up to the tower to see Sean, basically from yesterday's event. Chad, you were the best losing package in round number 6, so you got that FTI converter. Robert Vogler, you were the best losing package in round number. It was round 6 for Robert Vogler, got the Goodyear tires. Chaz, it was round number 5. You got that FTI converter. So we will get you guys up here to see Sean. But the tractors are continuing to do their thing. We've got a lot of giveaways still to get out the door here today before we finish off with a Jegs $20,000 Saturday. So racers, it is our pleasure to have you out here, and we are definitely looking forward to finish this thing off as strong as we started it.
K&N has been a proud sponsor of the K&N Spring Fling since year 1. K&N Engineering is the world's leading manufacturer of washable performance air filters and revolutionary nut-driven oil filters. Whether you're looking for a filter for your daily driver or your hot rod, K&N has what you need. Keep it clean. Choose K&N. With a 40-year history of technological innovation and engineering, Optima products offer unstoppable power for extreme enthusiasts and others who require the ultimate power source. Optima batteries were the first high-performance AGM automotive batteries in existence, and that revolutionized the industry with the unique spiral cell technology. Look for the distinctive Optima 6-pack shape to get the ultimate power source every day, everywhere. In need of a new fire suit? You want to look good in the winner's circle? Sparco and Biondo Racing Products have joined forces to bring the quality and safety of Sparco racing suits to the drag racing community. Combining comfort, lightness, and breathability, Sparco offers the best in SFI-5 and SFI-15 suits and a full line of gloves, shoes, and helmets. Call the racers at Biondo Racing to get sized up for your new Sparco gear. Jegs has been a part of Kyle and Peter's Spring Fling events from the start because they know what racers are looking for in a big buck bracket race. Get the high performance you're looking for at a price you won't believe from Jegs High Performance. Free shipping makes it easy. Dial 1-800-345-4545 or click on jegs.com. Tire covers, log books, parts, and more parts. 100% guaranteed with free shipping. The place for performance, Jegs. Mickey Thompson Tires. More and more bracket racers are relying on Mickey Thompson Tires to help them get to the winner's circle. From the big Bubba to the little Bubba, Mickey Thompson has a tire to fit every application. Hey, Spring Fling fans, when putting power to your rear end, consider differential parts from Yukon Gear and Axle. Yukon parts are built to last and withstand the round-robin abuse that winners expect. Check out Yukon's posses, cases, dropouts, gears, and kits, and make them part of your build. Thanks again to Yukon for being a sponsor of the K&N Spring Fling, presented by Optima.
There, as we're just trying to stay ahead of these little spritzy things that keep blowing in from I don't know where. Because I know it's definitely not those things that are like the puffy cotton balls in the sky that are doing this to us. No, I didn't use the R word. And I didn't use the C word either. I didn't call those things, they're puffy cotton balls in the sky that keep flying above us. And then the sprinklers from across the street, they just keep kind of, it's not going to work. What? No, I don't know what it is. Don't say it. Don't say the word.
It's not the sprinklers from across the street.
Don't say the word.
And it's coming out of the puffy cotton balls in the sky.
You think it's coming out of the puffy cotton balls in the sky?
Yes.
I'm going to debate with your reasoning.
See, I didn't say it though, did I?
No, you didn't. You're
exactly.
good. You're good. You got the thing figured out.
But still, it's not the sprinklers from across the street. It's coming out of the puffy cotton balls in the sky.
Well, then somebody needs to put the puffy cotton balls from the sky out of the way.
Well, if they would
and
move,
turn the sprinklers off.
Well, if they would move, then somebody probably would.
Okay.
It's going to go right through the puffy cotton ball.
Oh, all right. Fair enough. But we are going to
They'll try to push it up, and they're going to go through it.
Yeah.
Big old spot in it.
Well, hey, racers, we have had a little bit of a discussion up here, and just kind of to make sure that as many folks as possible have the opportunity to participate in that racer that needs the most helmet if you think that you've got one now. JJ was explaining to me the theory of why he thinks that Big Jed needs to be voted as the racer that needs it the most. Because no, I think your logic was good. Basically, you know, everybody knows that Jed takes probably as good care of his helmet as he did of JJ when you were a little, when you were a little one. He never let you touch the ground, was always keeping you, make sure that you were clean, ready to go. So basically, his helmet, there's not a scratch on it. It's like good as new, brand spanking new. I think there's probably like a padded vault inside of the trailer that the helmet goes in to keep it looking that way, just because.
No, it just sits in the car.
Oh, it sits in the car? Okay. Either way, it's well protected. And so the reason that JJ came up with is in order to keep that one shiny and new, we'll get another helmet that he can wear and then keep that one, locked away, which is a possible thought. But what we're really going with here is more that, unfortunately, that racer that might have accidentally dropped their helmet from the top of the grandstands once or twice, that might have been drugged behind the car down the return road once or twice, that perhaps has got the busted visor as well as the padding on the inside is ripped and shredded. And basically, we're going to be looking for a driver that needs the helmet the most. And so that is going to be a judged-type competition. Again, in order to make sure, what's that? Yes, your current helmet, the one you're wearing here this weekend. If it is looking a little bit abused, don't go find one that somebody did run over with, like a side-by-side or something like that. But anyway, your current helmet, you can bring it up here to the tower. Once we get into the buyback round, we are going to hold off until we get into the buyback go-round. Once we're in the buyback go-round, at that point, we will schedule a half-hour time. That way, the majority of people or the most people get the opportunity to come up here. We don't want to do it while all the cars are sitting in the staging lanes or a bunch of them, but we had to find that window, get things situated. So again, we will be judging those once we get into the buyback rounds. We'll let you know when it's time to start bringing your helmets to the tower. We'll take those pictures. Sean is going to be the one that will pretty much be getting that squared away. And then, shoot, JJ, you and I may be taking a look at those pictures as well to find out which one might need the most help, might need not only just some help, but a full replacement. Again, it's just another one of those things where you look at the $50,000 worth of racer appreciation prizes that have gone and will go out the door here this weekend. We just gave away that $300 Jones transmission cooling certificate for Shorty Raider, who hit that first perfect light.
I think they shut the sprinklers down.
Did they shut the sprinklers off? What? Don't say no. Say yes. Oh.
They need to shut them down there then.
I agree. We need a parts call? I heard a parts call in the back. What do we need?
I'll do it.
For a whole car?
A car.
You need a whole parts car. All right, then.
All right,
Unfortunately,
parts
I think this one will ruin our 100% completion rate, but
call. Parts call. Sonny Freeland needs a race car.
hey,
Like every single part inside of one.
I guess
He needs
it's
the car.
one of those things where we've called for other stuff before. We've called for like fuel for a blender.
When'd you do that? Wednesday?
No, not out here. There have been other times, but we called. There was a race that went out one time. There was it was getting towards the end of race day, and it was time to fire up a specific blender, and somebody needed fuel, so it ran on alcohol. So we went ahead and. I'm not kidding. It was a blender that ran on alcohol. We needed a little alcohol. We got that set up and
Like
squared
from
away.
inside a motorhome or something?
No. It was kind of a standalone little unit. Had a small little weed whacker that ran on alcohol that was pilot or driving the blender, and so we needed a little bit of alcohol to put in the motor so that we could turn on the blender.
Okay.
It was pretty cool. Had headers on it and everything.
Oh,
No, I'm not kidding.
I know what you're talking about.
I'm not kidding. Had the table, the motor sat underneath of it, the blender sat on top of it, had a set of handlebars off of a
Are
motorcycle.
you talking about a race car?
No, I'm talking about a full-on blender. So imagine a kitchen blender.
Okay.
They took the top off of the blender. They put a little weed whacker motor underneath of this table that would drive the shaft to turn the propeller. It was powered by that, and the way that the throttle was controlled from the weed whacker motor was basically a set of motorcycle handlebars on the blender, and you would twist the throttle to turn on the blender. It was actually pretty cool. Hey, Racers, payouts will be available after second round today. So at the conclusion of second round, we'll open up the payout window to start getting everybody squared away. And as we'd
Buybacks are
reminded you
open.
before,
Buybacks are open.
buyback window is open. So if you are interested in buying back in today's event, again, last day, last shot at $20,000 worth of Jegs cash here at the Spring Fling. Again, you can come on up here into the tower, walk up the stairs. Sal and everybody will get you taken care of. So please, racers, we'd hate for you to call it an early day if you don't want to. Somebody just shut off the sprinklers. Please. Please. All right. Well, racers, obviously the sprinklers that are on across the street are, instead of turning them off, he's turning them up. So we're going to go ahead and looks like everybody's going to kind of head back to their pits for a little while. We understand that as the rain, and I am going to go ahead and use that word because that's what it's become, at least for now. We tried to avoid this. by not that word, but unfortunately it's decided to roll through here for a little while. It wasn't necessarily expected, but we'll deal with it here for a little while. We will deal with it here for a little while. That's one R word that I will use, the radar. We're taking a look at the radar, and it's saying that it's just a little patch. And here's what I'm going to do, just because I am very good at taking ownership for things. Charles is the one that told me that it's just a little patch and that it should blow away here in just a little while. So they're saying that this should be gone here in just a little while. So we're going to let it blow through. We're going to do our thing. In the meantime, I'm almost wondering, where'd Sean go? Yeah, he looks a little preoccupied. We'll see what's up. So the door cars are going to head back into the pits. We're going to go on a little bit of a break here. And, yeah, I know that, Captain Jack. So with you guys doing that, Captain, you know what that means. Unfortunately, guys that are online, we're going to have to shut off the feed. We're going to turn on a little bit of music here until the weather rolls through. And once the weather rolls through, we'll come back at it. minutes left in the judging for the driver that needs the helmet the most. We got about 7 minutes left. Again, if you think that you need the helmet the most, bring it up here to the tower. We'll take some photos of it. We'll get that judged and figure out. The racer's got about 7 minutes left, and we will kind of whether to continue to clear out of the area. But 7 more minutes if you think that you are the driver that needs a helmet the most. Bring that helmet that you wear up here to the tower. We'll get some photos of it. We'll do our judging and get all of that figured out. So again, if you think that you would have a helmet that needs to be replaced with a brand new metal helmet the most, bring it up here to the tower and we'll get it. Wait on the weather
1484. Last name Bean. Car 1484. Last name Bean. If you could come to the tower and see Sal and or Stephanie, we'd appreciate it. All right, we have cut off the bell helmet judging for the person that needs the helmet the most. The committee is gathering at this point, and a winner will be announced shortly. So thank you to everyone that brought your old raggly skid lid up here for us to check out. We will let you know here shortly who's going to get that beautiful bell helmet for the racer that needs it the most.
By that first orange block in the center of the racetrack. Where Harry Ruska's car tried to, leave the ground, that's where some cars break traction. Frigo Molinari. Molinari's got a lift, but not Sydney. 388.202 at the 8th. How about that? 581.3, 254 miles an hour for Sidney Frigo. Bumps himself back into the field. And as we look now, Mike Janis has been moved to number 17 with 5.903. Vaughn Smith is on the bump spot.
Chuck, the number 16 qualifier, trying to hold on.
Well, the 589 run yesterday at 244 was big for this team in the fact that they were one of the few and the proud, if you will, that really got down there during that first session. Knowing what they know from yesterday, we'll find out what they can apply here. Dan Page, the crew chief, leans over the engine. They had a problem at ZMAX. The car put 3 holes out on one of the runs. They had no idea why it happened until they got back to the pits and pulled the spark plugs out and figured out that 3 of the spark plugs in the engine, coincidentally the ones in the holes that went out, had never been gapped. They were in a box that were marked gapped. If you try to run one of these cars with a 30 thousandths gap in a spark plug, it ain't going to happen. It is going to turn into an irrigation pump with raw fuel coming out of the Zoomy pipes. Chuck Little's crew chief, Dan Page, makes a final wheelie bar adjustment as Jeff Purley, the crew chief for Stephen Whiteley, looks on from behind the Cadillac. Both crews, both teams trying to make a good thing better. In the case of Chuck Little, he is trying to get off the bump spot. Neither of them will improve. Both of them suffered the same fate, which was instantaneous tire smoke. Chuck Little going to breathe on the gas pedal enough to go 9-10 with a 1 at 115 miles an hour, and Whiteley slowly rolling past 1,000 feet and across the stripe. 1836 at 44 miles an hour. He's going to take the short turn out. Great shot at Chuck Little's split window Corvette with a big blown motor hanging out of the hood as he heads down the top end.
Been very interesting to watch run after run get better and better. And these two look like they stepped over the edge just a little bit.
Jonathan Gray and Vaughn Smith. Vaughn Smith driving a car owned by Jim Bell that was driven by Jim Bell for years. Bell decided, you know what? I'm going to put a proven commodity in this thing. I'm going to put a champion in this thing. And he's got one of the best wheelmen in the business driving his turbocharged Camaro right now, and Jonathan Gray. Quiet thunder that he is. Ricky Smith, 2017 Camaro, Fallon sponsored.
Made the final round at the 4-wide Nationals, first time ever. 4-wide Pro Mod, and right before that final round, there was a little conversation between Ricky Smith and Frank Manson.
So I talked to Ricky yesterday, and he said, hey, man, me and Frank wouldn't have words. I'm like, you kidding me? I said, it looked like it out the window. He said, no, we were both pointing at each other and talking, but it looked very animated from our spot, but they were not having words. And
see, my side of the report is very different than yours.
Really?
Yes, I was on location as Frank Manzo explained to the NHRA tech officials that it was a heated discussion about where they were going to go for dinner. And that's exactly what Frank said. Hey, we were just talking about where we were going to go for dinner. Ricky wanted to go to a steakhouse, and I wanted to go eat Italian. And that is real.
That's a real thing.
Absolutely. I don't know if it actually happened. That's what Frank said.
Ribeyes or pasta Frijoles notwithstanding, Jonathan Gray is going to try to go quicker than 579.6. Pay very close attention. As much as we paid close attention to Harry Ruska's car trying to fly away at 330 feet, pay very close attention to the front end of Jonathan Gray's car through that first 330 feet. You'll actually be able to watch this thing react as those kits of nitrous come in. Hundreds of horsepower at a time are fed into this engine every time one of those kits fire off, and the car acts like it. That front wheel will come off the ground multiple times in the first short end of this racetrack. Vaughn Smith is sitting number 14 right now. He needs and wants to go quicker than that. As predicted, Jonathan Graham near the center line of the racetrack. Gray drags it back into his lane, and Smith runs another 88. 6:14.1, 184. Jonathan Gray was treading where angels don't dare to walk out there. That was creepy looking. 588.1, 246 for Vaughn Smith. They stay in the same spot.
My goodness, Jonathan Gray just walking the line out there. And we'll have to see that again up on Sunoco Vision. It appears that he might have doinked a block.
It was either the nose of the car we'll watch, or maybe the exhaust coming out of the Zoomy header there. We'll check out in a second. And again, watch the nose of Jonathan Gray's car. It comes up, it sets down, it's up again. Vaughn Smith's got a handful in it. Gray's car now starts to work its way toward the center line. Yo, baby. Yeah, it looks like he just nicked that foam block with the
doink,
with the header tubes. So Gray is going to stay number 5 with that 579. Smith is going to stay 13 at 588. Carl Stevens horsepower down there, and It's a good running car. They just want to try to get into that safe zone, if you will. Get away from that 12 to 16 spot and climb into the top half. That's obviously the goal.
The blocks have been taking a beating over these past 3 races.
They have been. Was it Houston? It was like a national record according to the CompuLink guys. Cooper's telling us he replaced, 20 blocks that weekend?
Many blocks.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I don't jinx this too early yet, but it looks like the R word has cleared out of the area. We're going to get back to starting drying the track and everything else. We should be ready to rock pretty quickly. It didn't look like it dropped a lot of water out there, but we're going to try our best, get it rocking and rolling, and have you guys back out on track as soon as we can. Right now, we're still looking at about 30 to 45 minutes, though. But the dreaded R word is out of the area, and we'll get things ready to go. Back to round number 1.
And you're going to see us cruise back and forth with the side-by-side with a little debris mat on the back of it. If you're away from the grandstand seats, you need to be moving this direction because we have our first round of, well, technically Pro Stock Motorcycles' second round of qualifying, and then our first round of qualifying for everybody else this weekend coming. So if you're in the pits walking around having a good time, grab yourself something to eat or drink and find yourself a seat because the heavy iron is going to be coming. We already got the heavy iron on the racetrack with our Pro Mods, but we got more of that on the way as the Pro categories will continue what promises to be very entertaining and very fast qualifying here at Atlanta Dragway. Oh, we got some super gas action coming first. I got you. Either way, grab a seat, man. Come on down.
I was out there this morning. You know, I always like to walk the track and everything. Just being up in the tower.
Yeah, you put that weird mustache and the glasses on, try to blend in. I know you do that. It's weird, man.
Well, it's not a mustache and glasses, Brian, because everybody would know now that you told them.
Oh, it's a paper bag?
It's a different disguise, but I will not reveal. That way I can be out there amongst the people. It will be great. But it is just such a great perspective here at this track. This track, you're very close. It's a great perspective. Cars are going by. Fans are cheering. They're all into everything that's happening. It's just spectacular. These Atlanta fans are some of the best fans in all of drag race.
Hardcore. Again, we've been coming here since 1981. You can only have that sort of sustained success if you have the fan base to follow it, and we certainly do. So once the side-by-side pulls off the top end of the racetrack, it'll be time to fire up the second half of both the Ricky Smith Tune team and the second half of the Galot Motorsports team as Kevin Rivenbark waiting down to the base of the tower.
You want to know the disguise?
Yeah.
I got some stilts, black leather jacket, and I kind of put on this fleshy
cap-looking
cap, sunglasses, and the stash.
Oh, the stash. Yeah, I thought you had been going as somebody else.
Stash.
Okay.
Fleshy cap, black leather jacket, foot taller.
Windowless van?
No.
Oh. Can hear fuel cars being warmed up in the pits right now. Looks like somewhere down in maybe Bob Vandergrift's car getting warmed up down there as the choppy, cackling idol of a top fuel dragster fills the air.
And you know what just started, Brian? Right over here at the Mellow Yellow Powerhouse, there's an autograph session going on. Just kicked off a couple moments ago. Clay Milliken is going to be there.
#1 qualifier the last 2 races.
Back to back.
Yeah, that car has been brutally quick.
John Gadosh going to be there.
John's the man. Great to see him back this weekend.
Angel is down there.
Full relief. Angel makes that nice, clean qualifying run yesterday.
It was so cool to see her. She
Very relieved.
She was talking some smack to herself about, don't have to go through that again this week. That's right. It was really great. It's so great to see Angel and Corey Reed and that team like really feeling it, knowing they've put in so much work and effort, and it's paying off. Yeah. They are just wearing their emotions on their sleeve, and it's Scotty Polachek down there as well.
So Galot Albelushi fires up the 903 cubic inch Pat Musey nitrous bomb under the hood of that Camaro, and Kevin Rivenbark from Wallace, North Carolina, the hometown crowd going nuts back there at Galot Motorsports Park as he comes into the water box in his 2015 Brad Anderson Hemi-powered Camaro, a Corvette rather. There's a burnout for you.
Oh yeah.
So Rivenbark boils the tires almost all the way to 330 feet, and Al Belushi not much of a letdown there either. He smoked them out past the tree. An important distinction between the two Galot Motorsports cars. Todd Tuttero's car has a blown motor and a clutch behind it. This car has a blown motor and a torque converter behind it. They have made strides on this combination. They have certainly come a long way with it. It's a gorgeous car, too. The C7 Corvettes, we've talked about this before. They've obviously come into the category with a force. For my money, as the knuckle-dragging Neanderthal man that I am, blower hanging out through the hood of that body is its best look.
It is spectacular. Rivenbark went 588, 1,242. Al Belushi with a best of a 579.6 at 248. As we're getting down to it here in the J&A Service Pro Modified Series.
We'll see what, Galot's car, obviously we saw yesterday the fact that Smith had these two cars tuned so tightly that they ran the same elapsed time to the thousandths of a second. Neither of them all the way to the finish line. Talking to Jonathan Gray, said he ripped his foot out of it early. On that last run, Gray's car was heading to the center line. He had no choice but to lift. So now we can get a little bit of a glimpse. If Belushi's car tracks straight and true, which we hope it does, maybe we'll get an idea of exactly what Ricky has loaded up in the wagon here. Rivenbark in that nail-chomping number 14 qualifying spot. To get at the top half right now, you got to go quicker than Sidney Frigo's 581. You got to have a 570 car basically to get in the top half of this field. And Kevin Rivenbark may have one, although he had to pedal. The thing got a little sideways in the first 330 feet. Smoked a piston, 596, 238 for Rivenbark, 583.7, 248 for Galot. Belushi's car was 985 to 60 feet, so they gave up a little there, maybe making a little wheel speed. 198 mile an hour, 8th mile speed. 387, 4 to the 8 for Al Belushi. 583.7, 248. The speed was up a tick. The ET is down a tick. Leads me to believe that the thing was turning the tire early. Rivenbark's car was hustling, 970 to 60 feet. By the time he got to the 8th, it was 392, and then you saw the smoke. Ate up a piston at the big end.
And right before the run, Warren Johnson, who was camped out there on the left side wall, jumped up and took a look at the rear of the car. It was very interesting to watch what he might be looking at. But here you have your number one qualifier coming out, Mike Castellana. They had a long night last night, fishing out every piece of gravel that had gotten in and around that car. Certainly a lot of work, but it looks like they've got the job done.
Cassie Simonton backing up Mike Castellana as Frank Manzo. Ace looks on at his newly taped up race car. I'm sorry, go ahead. Steve Jackson, NHRAL Access side, Evans, Georgia. Steve is solidly in the field at number 9. Again, a guy who wants to see 70s. Jackson has Billy Stockland providing some consulting, some consultational services. And Stockland is a very well-known crew chief, especially in the blown alcohol stuff. Spends a lot of time in a radial small tire world, and he knows these cars as well.
Manzo, after the trip into the gravel, looked over and said, "This is why we can't have nice things." He was on a roll yesterday. A lot of comedy coming out of the Ace.
Couple of great hot rods down on the starting line. One, the historically quickest one in J&A Service Pro Mod history. The other, a very quick car piloted by a very quick-witted and quick-jawed man who wants nothing more than to come in here and lay them all out by the time the weekend's done. Jackson's pre-staged, Castellana's pre-staged. No games to be played here. The only one is the game to see who can get to the finish line quickest. Stevie Fast, 958 to 60 feet, 380 to the 8th mile. Fast pulls the parachutes, and look at Castellana, 571.7, 251.81 miles an hour. Jiminy Christmas, that thing is evil. 571.7. Castellana's number 1 by 0.07 of a second. Jackson ripped the parachutes out early.
Unreal. We got to see that again. Hopefully, if the guys in the truck can bring it up, because Stevie Fast appeared to have the wheels in the air for a long time on that run. And Castellana, 571.7. So he extends his lead on the field. Here is the replay coming at you. Sunoco Vision brought to you by Papa John's. Don't know if we're going to see it from this angle, but look at Stevie Jackson just looking really strong at that point. Looks like it had settled down, passing the and closes the throttle right before 1,000 feet.
Part of me thinks that might have been a planned shutoff. There was nothing going on that would lead me to believe that there was any problem with that run. It left very well. It was clean through the 8th mile and was making some good ET. It was going to get the isolated shot here on Stevie. Again, things up, quivering the rear tires. Look at that. I mean, just hovering there. Sets down beautifully. Chassis happy. Motor's happy. Camera guy's looking at the ground. Camera guy's looking at the car. And camera guy's looking at those throttle blades just in a nice controlled shot. So that may have been a planned deal.
There you have it. J&A Service Pro Modified Series. They're not done. We've got more. And now it is time for round one. Round one Super Gas. This is Sherman Adcock. Adcock, the peak machine, going up against Arnold Reed. This is eliminations. 2 go down, 1 moves on, 1 loads up. We don't make them go home, but some do. Winlight, Arnold Reed, 992.1 takes down Sherman Adcock, 992.8. They had identical 11 reaction times. Margin of victory, 7 thou. Arnold Reed takes down Georgia's own Sherman Adcock. That is a big, big win for Arnold Reed. Going to bring up Chuck Trotter. Trotter going up against Joe Harper. Harper in the 98 Avenger. Left side, Trotter, 88 Thunderbird. Bob Glidden era Thunderbird. Look at that thing, looking so cool out there. You got an 88, you got a 98. 2 drivers, turn the button loose and try to advance. Yeah, he doesn't have that much power, but watch Joe Harper now. Does he know that Chuck Trotter is broke? Will he run under? And he does not. That is a dramatic moment. We've seen it very recently. A driver will charge down there and run under the time, but he does not. 993.2 at 136. Chuck Trotter is broken out there, 330-foot mark to the side of the groove. Now, you'll see these cars, they'll launch at full speed to have a reaction time and build a little momentum. Then the throttle stop device that sits either under the carburetor but above the manifold or in the linkage will close, choking the engine. This is designed to let time go by. Just let a little time go by, and then the throttle will open back up, and the car will run a slow ET, relatively, of course. 990s isn't slow, but it's certainly slower than these cars are capable of going, at a huge mile per hour, making it hard on the competition to judge who's going to get to the finish line first. In that case, Chuck Trotter, throttle stop closed up and didn't seem to ever reopen. So was something wrong with the car, or was something wrong with the electronic system? Regardless, never went wide open and certainly wasn't going to make up that much ground. Would have taken a lot of power. So the safety safari out there helping Chuck Trotter off the racetrack. Then we'll get back into it with round one Super Gas. Round one 990 Index cars. Hello and welcome to everyone who's out here at Atlanta Dragway. Thank you for coming out to NHRA Mellow Yellow Drag Racing in the heart of the South. We appreciate you coming out, and we have got so many great things planned over the next couple of days. We've got a couple of sessions of the Mellow Yellow Drag Racing Series that we're going to get in. We lost our sessions yesterday due to the weather, but judging by what we're seeing right now, it is absolutely gorgeous. We're going to see some quick ETs and fast mile per hour out of those Mellow Yellow Series cars. Never too early to start talking about Sunday eliminations. For those of you who are out here today and have yet to decide whether you're going to come out tomorrow, I highly encourage you to come out and join us. Sunday race day is awesome. It begins with the Sealmaster track walk. We'll walk the track surface, and you can see exactly how sticky an NHRA Safety Safari prepped track can be. We'll have driver introductions. It will be mega. And then, of course, the single elimination tournament that is NHRA Mellow Yellow Drag Racing will commence. So many great things. Of course, last year, Doug Coletta picking up the win in Top Fuel. Funny car, it was Matt Hagan. Pro Stock Jason Line and Pro Stock Motorcycle Eddie Krawick held up the Wally at the end of competition. So we want you all out here. We want this place to be rocking for Sunday eliminations. You see the autograph session still going on at the Mellow Yellow Powerhouse. We have the NHRA Nitro Zone. Got any NHRA members out there? Anybody a member of NHRA? Well, good on you. That is super cool. You get in your national dragster. All your member benefits. Well, in case you didn't know, you might be thinking, wow, it's kind of warm out here. But you know you're not. Nobody's thinking that. Not today. That's Atlanta every other year, not this year. You're thinking to yourself, boy, this wind is buffering me all over the place. This wind is very windy. Where can I go? The NHRA Nitro Zone is down there. It's got the big NHRA logo, the blue awning. If you're a member, you can show your card and just walk on in there, hang out, watch some TV screen, NHRA All Access. It's great stuff, and it is part of your member benefits. So get on down there, try it out, see what it's like. Attention in the pits. Hey, racers. Attention in the pits. Stock Eliminator. Round 2. Stock Eliminator. Round 2. Back to the staging lanes. We are rocking and rolling here on a Saturday, getting things done. Dan Burlingham, 88 Corvette, going up against Samantha Coughlin. Jeg Jr. has been running this car, and if you look down on the starting line, you see the Coughlin family representing big time. Troy Coughlin Jr. is down there in his Sealmaster gear, and Jeg is down there. Jeg, of course, a former Super Gas World Champion and 5-time Mellow Yellow Pro Stock World Champion. Sam coming from a great racing family in its own right, out here trying to take down Dan Burlingham. Now, if you stared at the front tires and you tried to judge just using what you saw who had the better reaction time, Sam is way out there. She's going to take the stripe and win it, and does exactly what you have to do. Scrubbed a lot of ET to make sure you don't go under that 990. 10:13.9, 142 wins it for Sam Coughlin. 11:31.1 for Dan Burlingham. Now, you see the index on the board, and it's really designed to make unequal cars equal. How on earth could an 82 Camaro and a Henry J and a GTO and all these different cars possibly compete against one another? Super Gas is how. Dave Morris goes red by 4 thou, steps over the line between good and evil by 4 thousandths. And Sherlin True Love, got one of the cool names out here. Sherlin goes 998.5 at 146 to advance to the second round of racing with a 17 reaction time. But that index, the object, you don't want to run the index. You want to get to the finish line first. You can't run under the index. And that is what makes it so difficult. Matt Tankersley. Tankersley got to the final round out at ZMAX a week ago in this Pontiac-powered GTO. He's pulling the rods of Alenko in there, lightning rods. Can he turn on a wind light here? Yes, 10:03.4 takes down Rich Grigorski. Grigorski with a Henry J 1952 edition, punched out in round 1. 10:13.2. A little bit over the dial and allows Tankersley in there. Spoke with Tank a little bit earlier. He was stoked he made the final round, went into the final with a plan, said flat out, didn't execute the plan. Executed like 70% of the plan. He's out here for more this week. Derek Denny, 2006 Corvette. Left-hand steer is what you will find in common in all these Super Gas vehicles. Left-hand steer, door slammers, street roadsters. Now, this Corvette 2006 edition, purpose-built, designed for this style of racing. Super Gas is a driver factory. Greg Slack, 1970 Maverick, was designed specially to go to the grocery store in 1970. Little did it know it would be winning round 1 Super Gas at the Lucas Oil Southern Nationals in the year 2017. 993.0 at a 13 reaction time, 5 thou margin for Greg Slack. Takes down Derek Denny's, double 06 reaction time. And I'm guessing that Derek might have let him slide on by. Then again, that's a really tight race, 994.2 for that. Justin James and Jamie Southards. Southards, right side, 67 Corvette, but not a 67 Corvette. Purpose-built Super Gas chassis with a body on it. Specifically designed for this kind of racing. Justin James, a 95 Oldsmobile. That car once thought it was going to the grocery store. Side-by-side 994s with Southards wins because he had a 005 reaction time and was out in front and could take the stripe by 033. 994.2 beats a 994.7. Once again, the number that mattered most, 005 reaction time for Jamie Southards. Justin James can load up. Frank Altilio, Apopka, Florida. Altilio, 2001 Mustang. Has had some success over the years. Staging up that machine against Val Harmon, 69 Camaro. So 2 Super Gas Craft will be battling it out on the track. This style of competition is difficult and challenging to explain to the fans of pure thoroughbred drag racing. 994-0167 wins it for Frank Altilio. Had an 88 reaction time. Normally not good enough to go around, but in this case, his opponent had a 95 reaction time. Remember, if you're 08 or 09, typically you're in the weeds. But if both of you have an 08 or an 09, well, then it's just a 7th-thou drag race, and Frank Altilio wins it as Val Harmon breaks out. David Owens in the red car down there. That is a 2010 Mustang, and David Tatum. So it's David and David. David Tatum, such a comeback story that started off with a nightmare. His car was stolen by an evil person a couple of years ago and absolutely gutted. Horrible pictures on the web, and has rallied back, battled back, made the final round out in Gainesville, and is trying to go back to the final round here. 993-162 with a 32 reaction time. David Tatum in the truck. That comeback story is going to happen at some point. 993 for the loss over on the right side. Brings up Luke Bagacki, Cool Hand Luke, RacingRVs.com, 63 Corvette, the open top machine, against David Ansbach. Ansbach with a 68 Plymouth, 440 under the hood. He's got his hands full of one of the greatest out here. Luke Bagacki has won world championships in Super Gas and Super Gop. He's won the U.S. Nationals. He's won the Spring Fling Million. He's won just about everything. And goes red round 1 by 1/1000. 1,000th of a second. Ansbach see like, this guy's not that tough. I'm going to the next round. Cool Hand Luke steps over the line by 1/1000. Ansbach goes dead on 6. He was bringing a hammer to his first round matchup against Cool Hand Luke. So Bagacki fouls out round 1 in the ATL. John Sickish, Carl Watts. Carl Watts, 89 Cavalier, Alabaster, Alabama. And the 63 Corvette. As Brian Loans literally inhales food. I have never seen that. Ooh, Brian Loans giving me bad news. Thank you for that, Brian. So Carl Watts leaves before the tree is activated, and that is very interesting. Sickish rolled the beam, and red light came on. Carl Watts, the winner, left early. 270, but it didn't matter because he had already won the race because John Sickish rolled the beam. Perhaps a trans brake malfunction. Very interesting. They used to say there was a million ways to die in the West. There's a million ways to lose in Super Gas. Rusty Cook, 99 Corvette, seeing nothing but Al Walker's taillights. Got a triple nickel big block stuffed under the hood of that 74 Pontiac he's owned for his whole life. Oh, breaks out by 2,000. There's another one of the million way. Had an 11 reaction time to Rusty Cook's 13. So a couple of rounds ago, we had two guys with like 80s and 90 lights. Both of these guys are nearly perfect. Someone's got to go home. Rusty Cook advances 991.8 at 166. Beats the breakout of 989.8 for Al Walker. All these numbers. Ray Miller, the chassis builder. Picked up the win a year ago in this category, going up against Tim Powell. Tim Powell out of Ty, Georgia. I heard Reinhardt giving you the whole history of Ty. And Powell, pretty tough racer in his own right. Way out there by the wall, but it's going to be Ray Miller continuing a reign of terror at Atlanta Dragway. 996.4, 161. And that's one of those cars you got to get down there and see it just for the perfection. 995.6, 156 for Tim Powell. As you watch these cars, especially those of you who are close to the starting line, you want to look right down